in the doc, I got so much to get into. It gets right out of the gate like an action movie getting out of the gate with a car chase scene or something with the whole. Yeah, go ahead and just vape away.
Nicotine is not.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't smoke pot.
So
for the record.
the flying the Air France jetliner. Right at the beginning. I mean, it just grabs you and pulls you in right at the beginning because it's this great recreation. It's you and your fiance.
Yeah.
You're flying to Europe or back
Well,
from Europe.
Actually, my wife by that point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Wife
because
by
we were
that
coming back
point.
from the honeymoon. Yeah.
Right.
Donna.
And back in the day when there were rules, but not too many rules for celebrities, and people sort of trusted people, and you were getting loaded on the plane.
Sure.
And you get up to the galley there, and the navigator comes out of the cockpit, recognizes you.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're in the cockpit.
Says the captain wants to meet you.
Right.
And then they want to take photos.
Right.
And then I'm like, let me put your jacket on so it looks cooler, you know?
Right.
And
The pilot's
then
jacket.
Yeah, then he hands me his pilot's cap.
Right.
And then he's standing, and I see his empty seat, and I'm like, do you mind? And he's like,
The pilot's seat.
Yeah, but of course, Mr. Sheen. And I sit down, and then I'm kind of, we're all just, the first officer, pilot's behind me standing. I'm in his seat. I'm in the pilot's seat, and I just casually say, is George flying the plane? I knew enough about it to know that's the international
Autopilot.
thing for autopilot. And
How many drinks would you say you've had?
at that point in the flight,
Yeah.
8.
Okay.
8 shots, but over like 3 hours.
Yeah, listen.
So they're kind of spaced out a little
you're
bit.
You're talking to me. You're not talking to Mark Karagos. Like
Right,
8
right,
shots,
right.
you can do a show. You
Yeah,
can fly a plane.
Right. So, but what was such a trip is when I asked if George was flying the plane, he just reaches up and flips a switch and says, "Not anymore."
So you got the yoke.
And yeah. And at first, I didn't do anything with it. I was just hands on it,
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked to both of them, and I was just kind of like gave a shrug, like, will this next thing be okay? And they gave me a thumbs up,
Right.
We were, and the adjustments were so minute. They
Right.
was microscopic.
But you're flying the plane.
just for like a minute.
Right.
It's like 68 seconds. But then what was a trip is when I pulled back on it and I could feel us doing
Rising.
yeah, and but then they were seeing that this, could go other places.
Right.
And he just reaches up and just flick.
Puts autopilot
George
back on.
yeah.
Right.
And then you could feel this thing just settle back into what it knew it was supposed to be doing,
Yeah, it's right at the top of episode 1,
Right.
and it really just kind of pulls you in.
I think so.
And it's
yeah.
very, it's a great illustration of substance mixed with a kind of lifestyle, mixed with a kind of mixed with a kind of a privilege, that you get to fly a plane.
Sure.
Mixed with like a little bit of a bygone era, even though it's not that long ago. But
Right,
this is
right.
kind of stuff you got to do. There was a Nick Cage incident on the plane that I thought was pretty compelling as well.
That was nuts.
Yeah.
That was nuts. And what's interesting is in the doc where you see Nick telling the story on Letterman, right?
Yes.
And and that was the first time I'd ever seen Nick telling the story on Letterman was in the doc.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know that he'd ever told it.
Uh-huh.
And so when Renz puts us side by side with that quote, this is your captain. I'm losing.
Right.
I'm not feeling well. I'm losing control of the aircraft. Right. It's identical as though we planned it.
Right.
And we didn't.
Right. So you know it's true.
Yes, our stories match verbatim.
Well, you guys were flying to San Francisco?
We were, yeah. It was Frisco or Vegas? It was Frisco. Yeah,
I think
you're
it was
right.
Frisco,
Yeah,
according
yeah.
to the doc. And now I don't know what you guys were doing in Frisco.
We were going up there. We wanted to watch Apocalypse in Francis Coppola, his uncle, one of his houses or his main house because he had a screening room with a great sound
Oh,
setup.
because
So
he's right. He's descendant of, related to
exactly, yeah.
Coppola.
Which is his
real name.
Well,
Well, yeah, you guys sort of have the weird switcheroo sort of,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
with the last name.
Yeah, and so that was the plan.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow on the way there, it turned into that thing. But it wasn't that thing before the.
So just for people who haven't seen it,
Okay.
he liked to party,
Yeah, I mean, not like me.
right?
But when the two of us came together the first time, it's almost like we were strangely like looking for each other or looking for the experience that the other could provide.
Yeah, and also, I mean, to be fair to him, I mean, I know it's a semantics thing, but he liked to party and you like to poison. Like, there's a thing where, like, people want to party, but
Right.
what you weren't doing is partying. You went beyond the party.
Oh, yeah.
I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was trying to get to a place and stay there.
Right.
you
He
know?
wanted to party.
But his partying was always just booze.
Uh-huh.
So he never did drugs
Right.
until the two of us wound up in the same boat one night,
So he went and had drinks and then went and grabbed the blower, the intercom.
Yes.
On the flight.
Is that slang for it? Is it a
blower.
blower? I
Yeah.
love that. I like that. But it had already been established, like Eddie B and Phil and Carrie, we'd already done a silly little act for the benefit of the passengers.
Oh.
So we were, because they still had that curtain separating.
Right.
So we'd pull the curtain back with the mic
Right.
and say something really goofy and get a couple laughs.
Right,
And the people were into it, right?
Sort of like early Southwest when they do a little shtick up there.
Exactly. And so, and everybody thought it was harmless. And yeah, these guys are hammered, but they're it's completely
Right.
everything's under control.
Right.
And then the blower winds up within Cage's grip.
Right.
And he just somehow, I don't know why, he saw the tone that we had set,
Right.
but chose to take it where he did.
Which is saying he was the captain.
Impersonating the captain, that he's not feeling well and he's losing control of the airplane. And it was right out of the movies. You hear people start screaming. Like there's always that high-pitched female scream in the movies, right? That happened.
Right.
So, yeah, and we were in a panic, and he didn't know the amount of cocaine I had on me.
Yes, 1.3 grams, maybe.
No, it was like two ounces.
Oh, ounces.
Yeah,
I get my grams and my ounces.
No, it's fine. Yeah,
2 ounces is a lot.
Yeah, in a fat Ziploc.
How many grams are in an ounce?
16, 14.
I think
No, 28. There's 28 grams in an ounce.
We'll look it up. But so
think.
if you're talking about 48 grams of 28.
28. Okay.
So you're talking about almost 28.3 and change, but you're talking about 50 grams of cocaine.
Pretty much about that. Yeah.
That's a lot of cocaine.
Well, I didn't know how long we were going to be up there. I didn't know how many times we were going to watch Apocalypse. Come on.
Right.
So
that's taped to your ankle.
no, the inside of my
inner thigh.
Inner thigh. Yeah.
Because, by the way, that's enough to get intent to distribute. Like
Perhaps.
that's enough to get in real trouble.
Perhaps. Yeah.
Well, I'll put it to you this way: if that's a civilian, that's enough. If you can lawyer up, if you can get Mark Garagos to sober up,
Right,
come
right,
out of the
right.
bathroom, you'll probably be okay.
That would suck if that was the day I needed him. But wouldn't they just kind of mash up all of those charges together? There'd be FAA stuff, there'd be federal violations, there'd be
some RICO and some interstate commerce. There'd be all of it.
All of it.
So the cops, the feds, the marshals are waiting for you when you get off the plane.
They are.
Because somebody radioed ahead.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the steward, are they called stewards still?
I don't know what we call them.
The
Attendants.
male flight attendant. And exactly as Nick tells it on Letterman, like walks right up to him, like this purposeful walk, and stops right in front of him and points him right in the face and says, "Not cool, mister. Not cool."
Yeah.
And so we, And that was about 10 minutes before landing.
Right.
So we kind of knew that
Right.
there might be,
Yeah.
we might have company,
Right.
you know.
And the door of the plane opens. There's uniformed guys there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
they
there's guys in suits and,
Right.
and uniforms, and we're like, huh.
Right. Now, Nick's the one who was on the blower, as we like to call it. You had picked it up, but done a more innocent use of the intercom.
Yeah, I was.
So
I
you're
was-
not necessarily in his boat, but you are in his crew.
right, but it would be like the what do they call it? Felony murder when the wheelman.
Yeah, you're the
'Cause
wheelman.
You shoot the
Right,
bank guard, and
right.
then you're just as yeah. So
Right.
yeah, but I was wearing a Dick Tracy hat that I bought at the airport before we. I was having a bad hair day, and I was like, I'll just hide under this thing, and it was like $12. It was that yellow, really cheap material, and so my act to the cabin was speaking into the Dick Tracy communicator. You
Right.
know? I don't know. That doesn't come close to answering your question. But so I still had a measure of goodwill with the passengers.
Right.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
nobody knew at that point I was a drug mule. Yeah.
Right. So you got this stuff taped to your inner thigh.
Right.
You're detained.
We are detained.
And now you're moments away from a situation where it's like you get pulled over and you're worried about a DUI, but you got a body in the trunk.
Exactly.
And this could get a lot worse.
Could get a lot
fast.
worse. Yeah.
Right.
It was that thing again where one of them was two guys were Cage fans, a couple guys were Sheen fans, and we could feel it start to turn.
Yeah.
The worm in our favor, you know,
Yeah.
and that's when the first wave of relief kind of, okay, this is not going to be a life-changing evening.